What up, y'all? It's araneaestorm checking in for the weekly, and I wanted to do things a little bit differently this time, so I could actually look at the cards and talk about them while I'm reading them for the week. Whew, let's just all take a second. And here comes my little bird, my little cardinal chirping. So basically I did this poll last night, but I wanted to kind of meditate on what I pulled because it's definitely a story to be told. I actually just pulled this exhaustion card from up under the source, this 9 of fire, and yeah, it can be exhausting to connect back with that source. It can be very, very, very exhausting to do so. We got going with the flow. We got the thunderbolt. We got playfulness, silence, and then we got inner voice, the full mind, innocence, source, exhaustion, and then at the bottom we have maturity, guidance, intensity, and flowering. So right now is just like a time period where we're having to really truly go with the flow of things and the flow of life, because there's so many changes. This thunderbolt card that is just rocking the shits. You know what I mean? There's just so many, you know, sudden changes, sudden movements, you know, going on with the earth, you know, with our mind, with our, you know, way of life in general. So like a lot of stuff that we were, you know, entering into, we thought that after all of this was just gonna kind of fade out, everything was gonna go back to, no. This silence card being so close to this source is like being able to channel that power, that base within spirit, within your core, within your soul, you know. And as I'm talking and I keep hearing this red cardinal, it is crazy because I kept going outside today, and the red cardinal is usually around, but for some reason today, in the past couple of days, it's like it's been making its presence known, like, you know, just in the area. Usually it'll fly by where it usually flies, but it's been coming up to the window and, you know, waking me up and doing all types of shit. So, you know, and, you know, the cardinal also looks at itself in the mirror a lot too. So I look at this card being channeling that source, you know, that core fire in you, you know, even through intense times that we going through. You know, being able to, you know, take a break when you need to, you know, have a sense of wonder and play, like the innocence in the Fool card, you know. Being able to listen to your inner voice and whatever it's really calling you to do. It's definitely an intense time, y'all. But the guidance that we need, this earth, this grounding, this earth energy right here, it's all around you. It's everything that you need. You don't have to look outside of yourself for it at all. Even as the mind. This card is so crazy to me. Look, if you look close to the card, it's just like craziness going on up in here. And I think that's why exhaustion is on the same, you know, in the same row as like the source and everything. Because, you know, oftentimes the mind, yes, we have physical, you know, unrest, but when the mind becomes unrested, the whole entire body becomes unrested. So for this exhaustion card, it's like, y'all take that time, especially to my Saturn return babies, you know what I mean? Like, definitely take that time to just relax your mind, channel it into something, you know, that can grow, you know, with this flowering card, something that can grow. It doesn't necessarily have to be a project, you know, it could be anything. Work related, relationships, whatever the case may be. Like this rebirth is definitely wanting to come in, having to come in, you know, so we could come out of it, you know, in a healthful place. You know what I mean? When I'm looking, I don't see anything, but I see there's not a lot of water on the table, and there's not a lot of air on the table either. At all. We got one air card and one water card. Everything else is pretty major, or the fire and earth. But for the most part, this is like, I'm thinking about a hurricane. Like this going with the flow in the mind card, I'm thinking about just, you know, trying to get to this space where you see how baby is like chilling right now in the water, not really, you know, faceless, careless, just kind of going with the current. This is just destruction of the mind, or just having too many things going on at once. That machinery that's turning you into that right there, like that is not where you want to be. That is not where you want to be in this time. And I don't even think I talked about this maturity card. I feel like the master, or maybe that was my own. I think that was my own. But yeah, this maturity. This is what a lot of my Saturn return babies is going through. This is the prep stage for that. So take it easy, y'all.